Now, we had to do something special to round out 2024, which is why it is my pleasure to say, one and all, for the first time ever in the midweek muster, we have got a best of 11 grand finals. One and all, welcome back to the All-Stars, man. We've had our group stage. We've got our results. Louis MT and B dominant to bring themselves both here into a grand final slammer. It's 11 games ahead of us, and it kicks off in Dry Arabia. Buzzy Boy B on his Chinese, you can guarantee we're going to be seeing some Pro Scout shenanigans. And Louis MT kicks off on this map with the Civ that kicked it all off for him in midweek muster. The very first week of this esports circuit been running, he played this Civ, and he looked scary. This man managed to go through the entirety of the first week into the grand finals, dominating practically everyone with his English picks. Let's see if he can get off to a domineering start here. Crazy thought as well, because last time these two met on Dry Arabia was in the group stage of the All-Stars, and that match was an hour and I believe 25 minutes long. Absolute absurdity. And looking at the Civs, I can't believe I'm going to do this myself. Looking at the Civs, this could actually happen again. Because in that game, it was Malian Shushi, a little bit less expected, but English Chinese is just kind of a classic, both of these Civs love the late game type situation, right? I hope for our sanity it's not the case. For Louis MT, yes, it is indeed late. He does live in China, so it's probably about 11 p.m., possibly 10 p.m., depending on where he is. But on top of that, Louis MT last time didn't care. This man is used to the European time zones by now. He realizes that right now, Age of Empires is a European-dominated sport. So he's on a mission to beat them in their own time zones and change that. And I gotta say, man, I gotta give it to him. Louis MT, he's on the verge. He's on the cusp. I know I said this at the end of 2023 as well. And 2024 started off so strong. But something just didn't come together with this guy, you know? Louis MT is a guy who was fast on the rise, and then all of a sudden, I think stagnated midway through the year. You know, he was bordering podium finishes consistently, and then it just disappeared. I'm hoping we see that type of competition, because another guy who actually, I think a lot of people thought might make it, and he could have actually, if he'd won that series against B, would have been Anatant. What a crazy grand finals that would have been. But this one is sure to deliver something special. So Imperial Academy coming in. Sheep count is looking ridiculous for B. With one scout, just one, he got 19 sheep compared to only Louis getting 8. That's incredible. I mean, this Civ does have the extra vision, right? It definitely helps, but you wouldn't really expect it to that extreme. And he's still finding more sheep. What? All right, 20 sheep is broken, man. That's... At that point, don't even do Pro Scout, surely. I think he's going to do something different. Like, usually when you see B pick Chinese, you're expecting Pro Scouts. Most of the time, he'll go for it. He knows it's going to be 2TC, right? He should have scouted that or be expecting that. Louis MT has, of course, gone for the Abbey of Kings. He'll eventually have that king to harass with. There is a world in which we just see Barbican. In fact, with 2 on gold and 9 on food, it's looking likely that we're heading towards a Barbican play. So you could do what? A Barbican drop here. That would also secure the deer. That would get you a stone. And then you could TC drop at home, right? And just mill push. And yes, Crackety, this is a best of 11, mate. Welcome to a marathon. I checked with the players. I mean, okay, so here's my defense of this. Here's my defense. I was like, doesn't really get done. Should we see why? No, but the more important thing, I was like, well, we're only playing one series today. And the first day was a maximum of 15 games played. Now, what we learned is actually having them play 15 games may have been a mistake in one day. But considering that the whole tournament got delayed, like, or was held back by one series by like an hour already from a player being late, and then you extend that further, I feel like the length isn't going to be absurdly over the top. As long as they don't choose hour-long games time and time again. A little bit of shenanigans here. Looks like Louis is maybe trying to get a shove in. It would have been great to have gone in towards like the berries, drop a TC here. I think berry gathering for English is a little bit underrated with how it got slightly buffed. And it does allow for a much faster castle. Also, especially with gold like this, you can just kind of wall it in, right? But I think instead, yeah, he's just going to go for the TC drop on the west side of the gold, isn't he? Wait, is he really doing this? That's... If B sees this, he can punish it. However, that isn't the way I was expecting. Why? This is not the way I was expecting B to punish this. This guy got 20 plus sheep and was like, I need some pro scouts. Why? Why? What's my predicted end for this best of 11? With knowing the players involved in this, probably like, I think 6 hours is very reasonable. 5 hours would be pretty conservative. 8 hours seems feasible with these two. I don't feel like I'm exaggerating either. That's insane though. Like usually English go for this condensed 2TC approach. It's almost like he was expecting B to play a boomer game, and in fairness, B did go pro scouts. So he has chosen a semi-boomer option. Should have made it play all 11. The funny thing is originally group stage was going to play all 2s. But then like the players that responded were like, oh, we don't mind. Best of 3s will play all 2s is fine. And then we thought about it and we were like, man, play all 2s is going to cause a lot of weird tiebreakers. Let's just go with best of 3s. And after a very long day, I think it was like almost a 10-hour broadcast, here we are. Scout's going to be bringing the goodies back. It looks like the king won't really? I thought he might go for the dive there. I guess it would still take 2 hits, so it's kind of not worth the damage you take. Yeah, king just being a little bit annoying, but B does have the horsemen coming. Once you have about 3 of them, that's where the king has to back the hell off. This is looking like a fast castle game from B, though. So this can work pretty well. You just fast castle into relic gathering with a few lancers coming out. I don't even know if B actually scouted what his opponent has done here. He's running across. He should be looking for the TC if he hasn't seen it yet. Once he knows how loose that second TC is, he can just fast castle and spam lancers. It's really powerful because at this stage, Louis already has too many villages underneath the TC. What do you guys predict, by the way? I'm curious. 66% for B. Damn. Have y'all not watched Louis' English? I mean, I guess you're thinking about the hyper late game, right? And I get where you're coming from, if that's where you're going, right? Pyrotechnic's very good. But I don't know. There's something about English longbows right now that makes them kind of crazy. I think, you know, if you see your opponent spamming hand cannoneers, you just pump longbows non-stop. If you have wing guard as well, good lord. But we are now getting the Barbican coming up. It's going to be in the goals, so that's going to protect against any harass. Interesting that B decided to go back for the Barbican. Another hilarity is because those imp-official taxmen, they're still neck and neck on economy right now. He's still going to fall behind over time because Song only like buffers you a little bit. It doesn't compare to 2TC. But, you know, this is the trade-off of Louis' timing, right? Like, he walks so far out of his base to get these deer. Eventually, it's going to pay off in a fast white tower build, but in the meantime, hurts your timings. And also, now you have this big question mark about where do you put the white tower? It's probably going to be here. This is the most natural place. It protects the farms, it protects the gold, it protects the trees. You definitely could use some protection there, considering the amount of horsemen coming. B, I don't think we're getting a castle play at all. I think he scouted the TC and now he wants to punish it. Okay, this is sick because, guys, he can rush towards a blacksmith timing. Just get a few archers over here, build into 2 rams, and break him. Louis, in the meantime, is making the right choice, adding in a lot of spears. But B's play into archers might make him think twice about this. Interesting little walls from Louis as well. He's trying to make it harder for his opponent to rotate. Surprised the king isn't here defending either. That's the biggest shocker to me. He's actually just griefing the pro scouts play. To be fair though, B still has plenty of deer already, Herman. What is up, Yorus? Thank you very much for the Prime sub, mate. Now remember, guys, if you have got Prime subs, whether you're watching this live or later, come and drop them in the chat. Make sure you make it a monthly habit. Don't give Bezos the money. Give me the money. Got 2 kids to feed. And esports don't fund themselves. Imagine if Louis done something insane, like, I don't know, built a 3rd TC. What's up, T4 Kit? Thank you for the Prime, mate. Appreciate it. Welcome to the Swarm, folks. I mean, this has to be White Tower. Anything but White Tower is death. Even a White Tower right now feels a little bit awkward because the archers are now here. Yeah, he might have to shortbow the archers to get them low, to scare them. Wait, he needs to drop off. I don't like the look of this. Man, Wheelbarrow would have totally been worth it in this situation. He has at least got the gold for the drop-off. The White Tower can be built. And he has got a nice spot right here. This should just be a natural fit for it. Instead, he goes greedy. I can't believe he got away with that. B backed off at the worst possible time there. Had he kept the pressure up, that White Tower could have been forfeit. Meantime, King did come home, but we talked about this. Horsemen are a great counter to that, able to just chase him down. Archers are going to start diving in, but it's only 4. It's not really your insta-kill play. He's at least delaying the timing a little bit, and might even be able to get a kill or 2 in the end. Oh, I like that, actually. The staggered attack of the archers is making it possible for him to get worker kills. But White Tower definitely going up. Louis is going to cost him, what, probably just 2 villages in the end. And B, just a phenomenal civ. Chinese are already mirroring this. Astronomical clock tower now on the way. Got so many deer to work with still. Also has that pressure point on the west side. Remember that second TC that Louis set up. He knows it. It's not safe. 23 villagers have to migrate the area. Yeah, a little bit surprised B stopped diving. I think he's showing a lot of respect here. He could have easily been on top of that, pressuring and finding kills. Probably was a little bit worried about the tree line giving this snaky runaway, where he could just pivot back and forth. Now, if you're wondering why did we not even get Zhuge, it's because it would have been too slow. I actually respect B for not doing that. Zhuge would have slowed down his tech timing, but it also takes a lot longer for them to arrive than archers. So he actually 100% made the right choice, because once you go for the age up, you don't want to be on Zhuge. Your opponent's going to have lombos, which can actually outrange you. So you have strong point defenses and heavily armored units. It's just Zhuge pointless at that stage. A little bit surprised B didn't try for the blacksmith in the end, though. I do think there would have been some merit towards double ram onto that second TC. Also, shout out to Louis for being a little bit creative with his placement. Most people are very condensed with their 2 TC. And what's up, Gurugandor? Thank you very much for the sub, mate. Appreciate the prime. Welcome to Swarm. Keep it going, guys. You almost start the sub train. Let's see how many subs you can get in for a best of 11. Sub if you like the idea of the insanity of 11 games back to 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 back. Pretty sure that was 11 times I said back. Oh, good clash. It's around here. Now this is awkward. Louis, yeah, he's a little bit pinched. There is still a small way out there. You got to be kidding me. How did he get away with that? The horsemen should have been able to gather on top of it. They're going to chase down now, so they should be able to get that final strike. This is a great fight, man. You can't believe it. But B right now, with Feudal Age Horsemen, is slapping Louis about. There is a few lances now mixed in there. But it's the pinch factor that was so smart there. Looks like the horsemen will be able to strike down another. Valuable kills found for B. And I imagine, yeah, we do have relics being targeted by both players. In fact, Louis trying to move out already. B trying to now mirror. All right. And the Lancer spam is real, man. This is the power of the Pro Scouts, right? He just got so much deer off the map. Meanwhile, Louis now has to go in for the farms. It's not a good look. I mean, necessarily right. You know you're going to have to do it eventually, but this early is something you want to avoid. That was the whole point in going on the deer. That's why he tried to get that deer shoving on the east side as well. That at least would have put them on par. Then you consider the sheep difference, which I think was about... I believe it was about 70% sheep for B. Insane advantage. Good cover fire here. He's going into the vet archers just in case the spears. Actually will work quite nicely against the crossbowmen as well. Louis. He's not going men-at-arms because English men-at-arms are OP. No, he's going English men-at-arms because he doesn't have the economy to go lancers. He's forced into this comp. If he can survive any incoming pressure, the crossbows will be of merit in a minute or two. The tricky part about B, I see this with his Chinese all the time. He just finds ways of snaking to different points. We could be looking at Yuan, or we could easily be looking at him. Or apparently we could just easily be looking at Miss Macro. Holy crap. I mean, I'm starting to think he's more of a squirrel than a bee, right? Because we're in the winter, and he seems to hoard a lot to try and survive. I love how the monk snitch. He's like, hey, guys, over here. Look what this guy's doing. All right, well, it looks like it's a day for religious people to die. So both the monks are going to be falling. Imperial Palace is coming in, so we did call it right. He does want that Yuan. Remember, this is ridiculous for the knights. It turns them into horsemen in terms of movement speed. Right now, B looking like he's going to get the majority of relics. Crossbows are trying to defend at home. Knights are going to charge in there, but I think there's just going to be too many lancers here for him to find real contestable damage. The Imperial Palace isn't being rushed up, so it's not like B is sacrificing a lot of his economy to do this. He can't really afford to when he's already 14 behind. But with the relics coming home, that's going to offset some of the pressure. Then there's the potential for B to go into a second TC himself. In fact, that's already coming through. And all of a sudden, this eco gap is going to be closing quite quickly. So what does Louis do from here? I mean, this stage of the game feels very unplayable in Age 3 to me. I don't think there's much he can do quickly on the map. If he tries to scale, there's just a risk that B just out-blobs you, right? He's still not having to worry about farms anytime soon, of course. Most likely, we're going to see Louis just hunker down, play for him, and do his classic mass men-at-arm stretch. Don't like B going 2TC and giving up on the Song Villager bonus at the same time. As a China main, that feels wrong. I think he's focusing on the pressure he has in the mid, though. Like, look at the move speed on these knights now. It's actually... So I can defend this. It's weirdly logical, actually, what B's doing. Because if he doesn't get the movement speed on his Lancers, all these injured knights will just heal up. Right? So by going for this play, he's able to snipe out the knights, and some of you are already onto it as well, get his hands on pagodas. That's the whole point. It's actually a really smart play, because we've seen how OP healing can be. You don't want to be giving the English Knights the ability in small numbers to have effect. You're seeing how much they struggle, man. They can't get away with it every time. Meanwhile, look at the injured for him. He's like, bye. Nice fight. Same time next week. Okay. Be sure to bring your brother. Bring someone who can actually fight, because you can't. I believe. Have we got the pagodas coming in yet? Doesn't look like it. It'll probably be setting them up soon. For the time being, he's prioritizing the granaries, which makes sense. And yet, the pagodas, you put relics in them, and they are ways of transcending the normancy of relics. Instead of you getting 80 gold, you get, I think, something like 200 resources, 240 resources. Knights are going to catch the granaries being built, but there's not much they can do about it. Dude, I swear, this play into Yuan is just so smart. We always see Yuan with infantry, but recently I've been seeing a lot more cavalry play, especially from B, and I give it a lot of credit where credit is due, man. It's impressive how effective it is at controlling the mid-map. Because, like, normally when you both do this knight play, it's a bit of a dance, and you can get away with it. English, there's no getting away in this situation. However, there might be no getting away rather from his timing. Louis is marching up with crossbows. His army not as big in terms of its ability to take a direct fight. Walls are going up, though, and no, Louis, instead of going down the center, he's trying to go for those farms. And that did just get scoured, man. That little detail there, B reveals it all. And remember, the Imperial Palace saw it so early. This is the tricky thing about Imperial Palace, man. I think Yuan is a bit more fluid to do now that people have realized the potency of that vision. It makes it harder for your opponent to just outmaneuver you off the back of you spending all that resource on tech. It's going to be one knight sneaking. It looks like the walls didn't go up in time over here. Oh, we do have Sacred Sites now being targeted by Louis. B, in the meantime, is just going to back up, focus on his economy. Louis, meanwhile, is looking like he's focusing on attack. You get to be impressed by Springwoods? Yeah, I have the same feeling. It's a bit underwhelming. Then again, it's not like an insanely pricey unit, 250. So he's maybe seeing some value there. Like, if you think about it from a DPS perspective compared to, say, archers, that's an interesting thought experiment, because you could have 3 archers or 1 Springald, right? And Springald's base damage is as high as the archers, but then it has the penetration. And then it has the range. I mean, it's not a fantastic unit, right? I'll be real about it, but it's not terrible either. Not, wow, okay. Terrible, maybe, but like in the idea of it and what he's trying to achieve here, I don't think it's terrible. Where it becomes terrible is when you go, oh, yeah, but you're compared to 3 archers. Could we do the proper comparison, which is you could have 2 crossbowmen or 1 Springald? Then you've got a fair argument. Then it's like, okay, yeah, I'd probably rather have the crossbowmen. Their DPS is much better. I think also situation against something like men-at-arms, I can kind of see the sense in it. Then again, like, B usually thrives off a mass nest of Bs. And I'm wondering why we're getting Fire Lancers here. This is weird. Okay. Okay, Louis, Berkshire. Like the idea of claiming the 8k, hate the idea of not having your own quality in late game. Missing out on Wingard is a pretty big bummer here. I think, you know, I must be one of Wingard's biggest like cheerleaders at this point. I always big up how important, how powerful this landmark is, and I think I stand by it in this particular game. Wingard ranges are worth their weight in gold. Especially against a player like B, who inherently loves to mass siege. I still do. Wait, this was the one that was sitting in the corner for the last 2 minutes. That was kind of wild. So we'll get some chip damage done, but you just see the value I'm talking about. You know, compared to another Civ in this situation, just reacting would take a long time. Yuan so early offsets that problem. Now, B is going to want to tech up quite quickly here once he hears the trigger tech up. His Fire Lancers can actually do some decent raid damage right now because Louis' army isn't huge. It's not also in a good position to control the map, right? Like, he's trying to dive the base right now. Keep drop coming in, though, and it's going to be way too fast for Louis to stop. I think he knows it as well, man. He'll probably look to dive under the keep either way. There's a few crossbows trying to defend this. Villagers will be at a garrison side. Now B, he's still behind by over 20 villagers in this game. Springle's not going to get in a choke point. Now this could be good. The pen shots here would hit about 5 targets. Or they could hit 2 because things. Remember, this is underneath a keep. Another quick wall! B! He traps him in! What a move! Louis MT just walked into his own tomb. And B, he lost, what, 5 villagers for that play? That was insane. And look at the military count. Louis down to just 10. Man, that's a sick play. And the reason it works so well is the Yuan dynasty. And the reason we caught it in such crisp, high-definition detail is this Ryzen powered setup. Yeah, I'm going to shill it. Exclamation mark AMD. Click on the link. Support the sponsors that have been supporting this because it makes events like this possible to be caught in the absolute highest settings, which is what these two deserve. That was insane. So good because of that movement speed. The 1.5 movement speed that allowed him to rush past the entire army, get the wall up, and get back before anything bad could happen. And now the counterattack is on. B, he says, you've done me some pain. Now let me return the service. Also, B is popped, right? So we're going to be seeing him soon as well. With the granary farms just going like crazy, with the 4 relics as well, it's no doubt about it. It's not going to take him long. Now, he has got the pagodas, so that's 3 pagodas total. It's just so much income. It's offsetting a lot of the discrepancy in economy here. And Louis, he's trying to go hand cannoneers. A smart choice, but a slow unit to assemble. Takes 35 seconds. The Fire Lancers go straight off the TC. Calm down, son. You're in a good position, but the game ain't over yet. The Vils were in the keep? Yes. They were in the castle, but remember, there's still a walk distance, and having 1.5 movement speed instead of 1.29 is actually a drastic difference. Because remember, that's the difference between a normal man-at-arms and a palace guard. And we usually talk about how easy it is to kite those type of situations, right? And oh my dear God. 12 Springles! No. Not just any Springles, folks. Those are clock tower Springles. He's trying to punish Louis' infamous mass men-at-arms strategy, which he's renowned for. He does it more than any other English player I know. TC is just trying to target down the Springles to make it a bit easy to attack this. Villagers are going to start repairing. Springles could go for some shots in. The damage is actually adding up here. 1 mango is not going to be good enough. The front line looks a little bit too small for Louis. Choke point is at least allowing him to hold on a little bit longer here. The White Tower is assisting. The hand cannoneers are also surviving. We have to be asking the question for how long. Men-at-arms are now coming around the back here. Basically the ranged army left over. B is going to have to back away a little, but tech up on the way behind this. And he has an overwhelming military lead. Nestaby is also now showing up. And the Springles are going to be able to snipe a few of these hand cannoneers on the retreat. Are you not entertained? B now immediately going in for the ancient techniques. That's going to be an extra 12% gathering rate on everyone, which he needs right now because he's still losing more villages on the flanks. Wait, what? How many went down here? Are you kidding I mean, this is the crazy thing. B went for what looked like an all-in attempt there. He done great damage, but it came at great cost. He's still not doing anything to Louis' underlying economy. Instead, B, with only 80 villagers, is looking to build even more Fire Lancers. Ram's now moving in. He's going after the Berkshire. 16 villagers idle. Louis, he could try to torch them. We'll start, but the army is on the way. In fact, if he kills the Fire Lancers, he can probably cancel the attack. No, I'm not even entertained. No, we're not gonna say Springals are the strongest thing. No, they're not. Okay. They done some damage because of the choke point fight, but overall that fight was carried by crossbows. Calm yourselves. Let's not start a rebellion. We don't need to nerf this more. Alright, I can't believe I'm going to do this. I'm going to entertain it. Ones if you think the Springals carried that fight. Twos if you think it was the crossbows. Oh no, what have I done? Wait, no, not me. What have you done? This is your fault! He's like, yeah, so if I convince everyone... I don't know why he's suddenly German. If I convince everyone to use Springals before the next S-tier tournament, and then they use them in the games against me, I can win! Genius. It's actually crazy that in this game, the guy who should be going hand cannon is not. Right, that is meant to be B's prerogative. That is what his Civ does so well. Pyrotechnics gives him a huge range advantage. Instead, we have Louis doubling down on it now with the Serpentine powder coming in. In fairness to B, if there was any Civ that was going to justify Springals, I think this is the one, by the way, because of the clock tower detail. 128 health, right? That's 50% more. It shows you how low the health is. This is all you get still. Which means that you just get sniped way too easily. So it's actually, like, if there was a Civ that could justify it, this is the one for sure. Louis like, oh, no, he's still got all the Springals. I don't want that. Oh, mate, this is comical. Most people would have built Trebs to deal with the Berkshire. Not me. Rams are on the move. Fire Lance is also marching in as well. This is kind of cool, actually, because he can go in and get the charge off. He's cycle charging it. Okay, dude, you can tell B wants to see more micro in AoE4. He's now going to peel away because he's done the damage they're going to do. And they'll look to cycle charge it again once it recharges. Stabs are coming through. Rams are moving in fast. In the meantime, the crossbows are holding back the men-at-arms. The Springals are clearing them up. Fire Lance is maybe dying, but because of the Spirit Way, it's not as quick as you'd like to see here. The Rams now are moving on to the Berkshire. Cannon placement is going to be there. Second wave of Fire Lancers is coming through. There is a counter push because we've got Louis with his infamous late game proxy bases. This man does it more than anyone else in AoE4. That's going to draw some attention. For now, B is focus fired on that Berkshire. Half HP and falling. Villager force is also kind of dwindling in numbers. Repairs coming in for the dive. Nesta B's helping to ensure that the repair crew could not get to work on this. He's essentially just ignoring the Berkshire now. The Sprill shots are mopping up the men-at-arms. Oh my Gideon. I can't believe he's actually doing this. He's still got Nesta B's here. The Fire Lancers need to start torching this down, and we have a keep drop. A late claim on the 5k gold left here. Nesta B's is going to get torched down. Good micro there by Louis, but he needs to repair. The problem is the Springals, although they're not meant to counter villagers, there's still decent damage into them when you have this many. And if you target them, you hit all the men-at-arms on the way through. Villagers, oh my god! He just got massacred! That flurry of shots! It turns out villagers do not counter Springals anymore. Look at the losses, man. We are now getting raids on the backside. B finally needs to address that, but keep in mind, like, what, a few minutes ago, I think Louis had lost maybe 7 villagers maximum. Now it's 34. The eco gap is closing. The Berkshire's days in this number feel limited now. He does need to mop up the raids. The Fire Lance is not the quickest to deal with it, but eventually will. And this proxy base is definitely going to be a nuisance for B. Louis does still have the Sacred Site timer, but once this Berkshire goes down, he can remove that threat, but he can take away the Sacred Site. just pulling the torches, man. Look, guys, there is hot oil here. There is 100% meant to be hot oil here. But the villagers don't care. Springel's going in for the shots again. Oh, no. Louis, this is a hill he's choosing to die on. He gets another round of hot boiling oil out in the face, and even more villagers being pulled. This is a place of worship to the blood gods. The amount of workers who've died around this landmark is insane. I'm pretty sure the fight over this Berkshire is responsible for about 65 worker kills between the two of them. Louis has baited the proper reaction out of B. He has had to come home, and B has finally admitted, yeah, maybe Fire Lancers don't get built for a reason. They're really expensive, guys. For what they do, they're really expensive. 160 resources and nowhere near as tanky as a Palace Guard, right? So he's switching over now. I guess situation against Berkshire, they're going to be more tanky, right? Because they have more raw health and good ranged armor. But like, in the grand scheme of things, they don't feel that tanky. But we are now getting pyrotechnics, and that's the way that B needs to try and win this. But the bigger problem, guys, is that despite what looked like it was going to be a winning fight for B, the Berkshire stands. Oh, man. And Louis' vulgar walling continues. Look at what he's done to this map. Even finds the 8k vein on the east side. He has full control. My worry is B waited too long for this hand cannoneer switch. He had me believing for a second that could have worked, but the problem now is, like, you don't have the gold to go into the better unit. He's got 4k at the back, and that's it. Then it's taxmen and nothing else. Are you kidding me? B's like, hold on, I've seen this trick before. Not again. Ah, freaking. I think if there's any takeaway from 2024, Louis MT might not be winning big tournaments at the moment, but the takeaway should be to start proxying if you're another player. If you're watching this right now and looking for a takeaway, start doing these little proxy bases. Because while B was distracted on that big push, Louis was getting damage done on the back here. B is still only at 87 villages. I think B might be dead, guys. This is another classic Fire Lance who's screwed you over moment in my eyes. I've seen it too often. I mean, how does B really win this? I think like the problem is, despite the fact his hand cannoneers are of high quality, it's now an attritional battle. And Louis MT has way too much to throw at you for 5 minutes. Torch damage coming in and keeps going down as well. I mean, he's just everywhere. This guy is so damn annoying to play against. Build Nestabes instead. I'm wondering why he didn't. Maybe his paranoia is that it wouldn't kill the men-at-arms fast enough. It also might be he was worried about Mangonel counterplay, which is fair. Like, Mangonel's destroying Nestabes in the late game now. Yeah, it was very weird to see from B, man. I feel like that first dive where he pressed underneath the primary TC gave him too much confidence in Springolds. My Fire Lancers are at least going to dive in for a nice hit there. We'll be able to mop up the hand cannoneer wave. Although, yeah, A-clicking the ram's not the best feeling here with the hand cannoneers. It's just more time being bought, right? We're now down to 4 minutes. Louis continues with this backstabbing. He's that little rogue in your D&D party. You never hope in the main fight, just stab, stab, stab. Then loot the body, then stab more. B, we can't have much gold left here. Yeah, 2.3k and then he's out. The men-at-arms are already there as well. I'm just struggling to see the way he can't even get the taxman out there. And that's it. GG gets called. Game 1. Once again, Louis turns up with his English and reminds you why it's so ban-worthy against him. What an insane game. Springolds, Fire Lancers. In some ways, I feel like B was trying to show us everything we shouldn't build, but I'm wondering, is there anyone in the chat? Let me know in the comments down below on the video. Anyone convinced to build Springolds now? We've still got potentially 10 more games, so we'll have to see if he keeps this up, because soon we're going to be into game number 2 of the KP Midweek Muster All-Stars. I'll see you there. Well, that feels like quite the twist. Oh, no. Oh, one and all, welcome back to our grand finals of the Midweek Muster All-Stars. We are into Atakama, and this map is Atacursed. Needs to be removed. I don't think we're going to be seeing Atakama much more, if ever again, in the Midweek Muster, unless the devs pull a finger out and update this map, because it's not meant to spawn like this. In fairness, in absolute fairness, as horrific of a spawn as it is in some ways, it is at least even. Right? This is at least an even spawn in that both of them have spawned next to a sacred site. It sucks for a Delhi player. Absolutely sucks for a Delhi player. But it's really unfortunate that it went this way. Typically, Atakama is at its best when the sacred sites are at the midpoints across the map. And sometimes that means the trade posts are behind the players' bases or somewhere nearby. There's a little bit of variance there. But yes, this is Atakama. It's a shame, actually, because if they just fixed the issues with this map, it would be a good map. Rick, like, am I the only one who feels that? Like, if we didn't have this problem, this is a good map. And yeah, basically, there's a lobby setting which you need to set. When you look in your lobby, you have a spawn together or spawn random. You're meant to choose, if I remember correctly, it's spawn random. If you choose spawn random, it fixes any issues. Whereas by default, I believe usually lobbies are set to team together. It's a very weird bug. The backbone of why it does it is that when maps are generated, the way they're generated is different, in order. If you team together, then basically players' spawn points are prioritized over certain resources. Whereas if you choose a random location, then the players get spawned in absolute last, which would put them away from sacred sites. That's a little bit of like a high-level explanation. I'm not going to dig into it too deep because snooze fest, right? But this is crazy, dude. Oh my god. I mean, I've messaged and we'll find out afterwards if it's random locations or not, because the kind of... I gotta bluntly say, this kind of shady part about this is this was B's pick. I don't know if he was hosting the lobby, but like, this looks ridiculous. He got all the... This is the thing, when you use... Like, this is why I think they used teams together, not random location. Teams together tends to do with this all the food. It puts it really close, puts the sacred site close. Like, this is an absolute destruction of a Delhi pick. Right, like, Delhi should do fairly well here. Rouge should be okay, but compared to Delhi, it's going to be hard. But then when you get a spawn like this, it amplifies everything that's good about this map for Rouge, and deamps a lot of what the Delhi benefit from. Like, this is absurd. I can't believe this, man. Like, he's already got 14 deer on this hunting cabin. Oh, sorry, it would be 12, right? Because one stack's 5. That's insane. Is this in the rules? I believe it was out of the rules. I'd have to double check over because we had this last week and we reminded players to use random location for this reason. Because Atakama was our default map in week number 7 of the Midweek Musters. Once again, it's a shame that we just won't be able to have it back until this is fixed. Because it's an awkward thing to have players reminded of. It's also an awkward thing to police. You have to remember we use open scheduling format. I don't have $1 million to pay my admin to check every single series and do like 40 hours a week. That's absurd. So like, to have them police everything is very difficult. But we'll see. I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, this is still Delhi. Delhi are, I believe, a top 3 performer. Yeah, 61% win rate in the KPMMs. For comparison, Byzantines are 71%, H3 is 66%. So it is the only civ that performs better than Delhi so far in Midweek Musters, outside of those I mentioned, would be Juji. That puts Delhi at an overall 4th best civ for win rate. And keep in mind, like, it's picked more than practically anything else. We'll see what B can do, though. This is probably going to be fast castle into horse archers and then just rush relics. For Louis, he can just play Ghazi, though. It's a great counter. And also, like, right now, this Atakama feels great until pressure comes in. Like, you need to build a wooden fortress now. You can't really even wait on it. Because the first Ghazi could easily be on the way. In fact, Louis, I think there was a missed rally there. It should have already been halfway here. Are we getting new civs in 2025? Rumor has it. We don't know when. I mean, 2025 is 356 days long. Wait, is it 356 or 352? I always forget. Saying 356 sounds like I'm just doing a weird form of, like, megabytes, which would be 256. No, it is. My brain's forgotten now. 365. Wait, wait. Oh, I see what I done there. I got the numbers the wrong way around. Oops. But yeah, there are 365 days in a year. It could land on any of them, really. And this Pro Scouts player is having a little bit of a hard time to find additional things, right? Wait, did he go? Yeah, thank God. I was about to say, please don't. Someone said Pro Scouts earlier got baited. It was survival techniques. Yeah, there's no reason to go Pro Scouts with what's left on the map. There's just really not that much. Some of it is so close to your opponent, why even bother? Ghazi arriving to be a little bit of a nuisance. Knight play by B is smart. If he rushed Castle Age, he'd just be flat dead on the food here, which would be problematic. Like, he's only got 5 sheep underneath the TC, right? Because this is crazy. Louis got 20. God. And now the Sacred Site for free. That's 125 gold a minute that you just can't have taken away from you, really. So, you know, that's the trade-off, right? It's like, he can't get this Sacred Site win condition, realistically. Like, by the time he would have won the game. But he has basically got 1.5 relics now for free for the rest of the game. So, like, it's a trade-off, right? Delhi loses something, but they also gain something, which is, you know, you lose the ultimate win condition, you gain a trickle of resources for the rest of the game. Now, keep in mind, as this treks on, Louis is going to get an inherent edge off of the Ecotex, which B can't immediately mirror, but he does kind of balance it out long enough, right? Like, if this is a, say, 25-minute feudal, then the exchange rates that you get on these tickets, where you're generating 50 extra resources every 50 seconds, basically, is going to allow him to afford his own tax. It's a very long play, though. It does mean in, like, the interim, Louis should be a lot stronger. In fact, Louis looks like he's prepping for a heist. He's got a lot of scouts. He's going to be able to take the deer near to his base. And maybe he could even think about diving in and snatching some of these away. They had team... Oh, thank you, Cascade. They had team together in not random locations. This is one of the tricky things about why I wish that there was lobby access for casters. Because if there was, we could have sat there and immediately said this to them and confirmed they needed a remake. The awkward part is, like, I could... You know, you could ask for a remake here. I don't think we had it in the ruling. I think the thing we said in the rulings is, like, to keep it simple, if a player objects to team together, it needs to be remade. But I didn't see Louis object, is the problem. Sub, Faplop, thank you very much for the gifted sub. Appreciate it, mate. So it makes it a little bit more blurry of a situation. But yeah, like, this is why, you know, this is why allowing casters to sit in lobby is good. Same with admins, because they can then tell you something is off. Like, we've had controversies before in AV4, like, whether animation counts if something is allowed, right? And, like, in that situation, on a big tournament, an admin would be there and be like, don't do that again, this is a warning. It's very hard to give those warnings, because I could at the players right now, but they shouldn't really be looking at their Discord. They should be looking at the game. So yeah, I have a feeling either way this one's going to stand. I mean, the crazy thing is I don't think Louis is in a bad position at all. I think he's in a pretty cozy position right now. Tech Up's coming in, and B has, what, 9 knights, which does sound good. But Louis can start blowing Spearmen now in prep for that, right? I mean, the other problem I'm seeing is B's... He's playing as if he's getting all in. You can tell in the position of the knights. He's not really coming out, and that's a problem, man. Like, had he been halfway across the map already when this Tech Up started, it could do some damage. But this hesitance you're seeing from him is going to mean that he'll probably be sitting at his TC when Louis goes age free. This is wild from Louis as well, because of the position. He's wrapping around the back, and that's baiting a reaction. Because, like, who the hell attacks while teching, right? That's just not a thing. That's like a taboo of RTS. You're meant to just stay safe, hunker down, wait for your attacks. This spits in the face of, like, RTS tradition, what Louis is doing, but it's very smart because of that. B is going to have no recourse but to try and tech himself. Speed's now arriving. Get the brace like that. Allows the Ghazi to definitely get away before the choke point gets involved. And Louis, you got to be happy with that. Feels like he dodged a bullet, right? All the pressure on B side of the map. Louis also now in position to start picking up relics already. In fact, he's going for a mass heist here. 4 relics soon to be on the way home. Are you kidding me? Not just 4. He's shuffling around with his 5th scholar to go for this one here. Man, I tell you, Louis, you just gotta love his style. Whether you're a B fan or not, it doesn't matter. You have to look at Louis and show so much respect for the way he's playing this. Yes, Delhi's strong. Yes, Delhi OP, blah, blah, blah. But this was B's pick. It looked really good. He got a great spawn for him. And yet Louis is on his way towards a dominant position here, unless B can do significant damage. And the first War Elephant has already been queued up. There goes your significant damage. B instead has to go high trade house. Get your numbers in, folks. How much gold will this one generate? I mean, he's got some good gen already, right? Okay, not 800 capital here. 29 over here is a lot better. And he never set up 100 capital on this line. He could always do that in a second to get extra gold trickle. Divers coming in though. Looks like villagers are going to dodge death. All but 1. So 1 worker kill on each side so far in this game. And that's because he went textiles, right? No. So Louis just missed villager production. Oh my god. Well, that relic didn't cleanly make it home, but it's so close, I don't see how B's ever getting a relic in this game. The other one is now coming up here as well, right? Yeah, he's taking the long way around after what he just saw happen to his brother. B not able to get across quick enough here. Archers have to march back. Man, Louis is just going for that strong kill him in 1 type comp, right? Men at arms, crossbows, massing up. How does B win this? I mean, the archers being vetted up is fine. He's got 20 of them, right? They'll be okay against the crossbows. Knights can do well against the men at arms. My scary thought here is if the crossbow count gets too big, the knights can't even start to fight. And you have to remember, he went House of Learning, which means he has this very, very fun tech called Pakes. And not just that, home blaze. Oh my god, this is going to be a brutal 5 minutes for B. Does find the other scholar trying to return. In the meantime, the other relic has been picked up and is on its way home. My issue is B has a very difficult 7 or 8 minutes ahead of him to survive. B can horse archer to raid everything. If Louis just walls, though, it completely offsets it, right? Like, this is the thing. Players have started to adjust to the horse archer meta very well. And Louis is one of the most prolific wallers in AoE 4. And here comes the elephant. This is not the fight you want! Okay, so that wasn't a good trade. He killed, what, I think maybe, let's say 5 men arms to be generous, and lost 3 knights. Knights cost double the price, right? It's a rough fight, and in the meantime, the knight in the base! Finding 2 worker kills. That's only just 1. There's more raiders nearby. The concern I now have is that B is going to be hunkered down in his base, unable to move. And guys, like 100% he shouldn't have went horse archers. Like, I think he made the right choice not going horse archers. He was already too deep into knights for a start. It wouldn't have made sense for his timing. And also, you know, the Delhi are just going to hunker down, get some elephants, get some crossbows, and stand their ground. Once they have Pakes as well, you can't do anything because Pakes outranges horse archers. Once B's out, then he can't just rush 2TC, but he does need to make a move towards the central tree line soon. Mainly for the gold more than anything else. I think gold is a bigger threat. He's still got a decent amount of wood around him. But at that point, like, you know, if you're going to go for a secure, you might as well secure the 2 resources. That also would, kind of bridge him on the east side here, so you can maybe secure this area where all the berries are, because you don't want to have to rush farms at this stage. If you go farms, it's curtains closed. And the high trade house, by the way, 146 gold. Not as feels bad as you'd think. What is feels bad is being in a game against the Delhi where they have 5 relics. 5th one, about to come home. And I love that, man. Louis, he's going for the safest wood gathering imaginable to man. He's going to wall in here, and then he can just shuffle his eco into that little choke point. Wait, no? Wait, what? What's the point in this then? Well, if we were playing Regicide, this would be a sick move. I guess if he gets cornered with his crossbows, he can get away. Imagine a high trade house in there. I think you might be able to get one there. You probably have to chop one or two trees, though. No sneaking hunting cap? Dude, if B's on your side of the map sneaking hunting cap is in there, I think like we've got bigger problems, you know? Well, B is posturing aggressively. It could be a very short-lived attempt at aggression, though. It is a keep drop, after all. Farm's being set up behind it. He could hit the west side. It's just so difficult to breach. Especially because you know you're going to get hit by the crossbows as you run by. It's almost like Louis thinking, oh, is there a route through the tree line? Like, he can see it. It doesn't exist. There isn't one. It's a bit weird. And we are seeing those infamous walls that Louis loves that we talked about. Going up everywhere. Now remember, folks, right now it is late for Louis. But if he makes each of these games as long as possible, towards the end of the series, it's going to be late for B. He's filibustering again. I mean, Louis is getting ready for Imperial. You can tell by the fact he's almost at 20 scholars. This is where the research rates just get, quite frankly, for lack of a better word, insane. You know, getting elite tech takes you under 2 minutes. And it's free, right? Whereas normally a Civ pays 1,000 resources for that. Oh joy, what a balanced and reasonable thing. I mean, the blacksmith techs, at least, are a little less outrageous, right? They take almost 4 minutes. But he can just go up to 30 scholars gradually over time, right? Like, by the time he's teching up, he could be at 25 scholars and have a university then pumping techs. Downside of doing this, of course, is your opponent could technically outmass you and go in. We're not at that point, though, because of Louis' timing. Like, this is why rushing Imp as Delhi feels really good over waiting too long. Because when you rush it, it's very difficult for an opponent to have a full 200 pop. He's at 132 right now. So if you go for Imperial now, and you pump up to 30 scholars, your opponent, by the time they're getting to 200 pop, you've probably already got your first Unitech coming in, and all your elite techs. That's the insanity of fast Imperial Delhi, folks. The walls are almost complete. Love the way he done it as well, just using infantry, not idling a single villager. Remember, we do have village fortresses now, right? So he can start queuing up villages. Funnily enough, he's actually prioritizing boiling oil instead. House of Sultan is on the way. B, in the meantime, is prepping Trebs off the back of this little forward base. Oh boy, but what's he going to feel like when he sees that tech up? I mean, he's probably going to feel like he needs to dive in fast. This is going to be an attempted breach on the east side. Remember, this is all one TC from B. If he loses 16 knights after his opponent goes Imperial, it's curtains closed. So these guys need to raid and survive. Man, Louis, are you kidding me? He aggroed him. He baits him in. Quick reaction out of B at least. Minimizes the loss. Could have been a lot worse there. But, oh, come on. This is the worst feeling. He sees the crossbows, he walks away, and then he hears Imperial. Yeah, this is like when you work really hard for like the entire year. Your boss has been cheering up the fact that someone's going to be filling that new senior of sales role. And oh boy, is it going to be a real big surprise. And then he just hires someone from outside. You're like, you're too exhausted after a year of hard work to do anything. You know you're in a defeated state. I mean, that's kind of where B is, right? Like, he tried to go in. He's already retreating. There's no turning around at that stage to go back in. I'm waiting for someone in chat to be like, hey, I'm that guy who got that senior manager role. Good, you can afford to subscribe to my channel. Subscribe. Cheeky small walls as well from Louis. Just creating these funnel points, right? Heck, you can even consider just starting to stonewall the east side. It would take villagers to do so is the only issue, right? Because he didn't go compound defenders. What is B's way out? I mean, he's at least idling villagers to repair this castle. But Louis isn't going to be idle for long. Elite tech's coming in. The crossbows just got upgraded. Wow, you're the guy who got that senior manager role? You know what you should do to treat yourself on getting that hard-earned job? Pick up a new AMD Ryzen 9000 series CPU. Get the very best quality out of gaming from your CPU today. Quick link, guys. Awareness campaigns are lit. Shout out to AMD for sponsoring us. All right, B. He has at least blitzed through one of the castles. Now that means that Louis is not going to be building an eco lead. In fairness, guys, he already has an eco lead. It's kind of a noteworthy one. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we already have... Oh, no. Oh, no. Ooh. Okay, we don't have High Advance. He prioritized Zeal first, which is a mistake. And now he's going to lose the Mosque, which is an even bigger mistake. Doesn't have a backup one, which is very surprising here. We do have Gunny Boy Elephants, though. 2 of them, to be exact. And that's something that B doesn't have a grand old answer for. Best thing about this patch is Trebs being viable. Agreed. I'm glad they finally actually are worth it. And we've actually got the sprinkles again. Wait, I'm getting flashbacks to game 1, where it was all going so well for a certain player up until we saw many sprinkles. In that game, he failed to have Trebs. He went Rams. In this game, though, he has a way of starting to siege down the landmarks. Louis being very patient about this as well. I actually respect it. You know, you can lose these 4 buildings, landmarks. It sucks, right? Your gold's on the ground, but you can recover that. It's all about getting your technologies, and look at what Louis has coming, guys. This is insane. The speed at which he's unlocking this. Scenario error is now only a minute away for 3. But he's going to fight first. B starts to trap in. Louis charging forward with the mass elephants. Frontline is already gone. And most of this is archers, not crossbows. B, he has to pull everything to assist. The problem right now is the Sprinkles don't do anything against the elephant mass. Decent damage against the crossbows, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. Crossbow line is mostly dead, but my bigger issue is elephants, guys. This is ridiculous. The army's just getting mopped up by Zoo Tycoon. And there you have it. A question as old as Microsoft Gaming itself. Which is better, Age of Empires or Zoo Tycoon? I'm sorry, AoE fans. Zoo Tycoon takes the win. I can confirm there will be a redraft after the 4th game. So have hope, B fans. I think his draft was underwhelming compared to Louis. But there may be hope. He will at least get 1 redraft, even if he ends up getting 4-0'd. Because right now, this is looking like we're heading towards a 3-0. HRE versus Jeanne. B is going to have to get very creative on Borderland to inspire me here. Because I remember for a while, people thought this was a good matchup for Jeanne. Because HRE are just fast castle. Then HRE players done something crazy. They've done something unimaginable. If you go back, even just a year, what is something that the Holy Roman Empire could have done that would have shocked you? Not being ran by incestuous Habsburgs? No, I was thinking actually within the confines of the game. The thing that you could not imagine them doing is playing H2. But funnily enough, they're actually pretty good at playing H2 into Jeanne. We'll see if Louis wants to go that way. He's a bit more of a boom-oriented player in some cases. So what we might just see is he just double outposts and does go for that fast castle, which will give some opportunities to be via the range form Jeanne. And yes, Quaxis is on the right track. Archers was part of it. Like, H3 can just mass spears and archers. In fact, I'd love to see Louis do something creative out of B's book where you do a mine work. That would be absolutely insane to witness. And I think could be justified here. Just because you go for all pikes, you can actually play Horseman Spear even. Really good against Jeanne as well. Just chases her down, snipes her out. And if your opponent goes naturally Knights Archers, they're now countered. How are you guys predicting, by the way? I'm curious. Wait, is that for this game? 72% on Louis. Oof. He's having a hard time. You want more Springles? Well, in fairness, guys, Jeanne is actually quite good at building siege. Do you guys know that? Okay, I can't believe I'm doing this. Yeah, because of the consecrations. Remember, you have an upgrade for your consecration that discounts wood and gold as well. Looks like we've got the normalcy, though. We've got Archon, we've got School of Cavalry. Man. Any regular H3 player versus JD, H3. Me versus JD, JD. I mean, dude, it's true. I've watched KJ's replays. It makes me want to hit the JD, too. JD being Jack Daniels in this situation. Wait, I'm sorry, mate. Don't think I had that on the bingo card. It's an option that was explored for a bit, but I don't think it stuck that hard with players in this matchup. We've got 2 TC. Okay, and that is going to be what? Second town center near the deer? I'm wondering what he's going to go for here. Might depend on the amount of sheep that he gets. Louis is the sheep whisperer, guys. Holy smokes. He's got 17 sheep, and on top of that, he's going to beat B to probably these 2 or 3 sheep over in this area. That's not a good sign, because B right now only has, what, probably 10, 11 sheep max. And also consider that Louis has been gathering from his sheep quicker because they have prelates. And no, this is a best of 11. Would you guys like to squint your eyes if you're looking on your phone and look at the bottom right of the screen? And I'm going to give you a little tip on how you can know for yourself. We've written best of 11 there. Oh, actually, is Louis a little bit late? Oh, you got to be kidding me. This is painful to watch. B is actually going the wrong way. I mean, he doesn't know, right? And he's going to be going for the pro scouts. But that makes it even better for Louis, even more tasty that he gets a lot of sheep here. Is now he's not going to be feeling as punished by the lack of deer. Because this is the thing, like, this map, players have quite enjoyed pro scouts because of the far-off deers in the north and south. You can't really go pro scouts when you go 2TC. If there was a civ that could theoretically justify it, it'd probably be HRE, because they can be, like, extra greedy because they have great gathering rates, but it's just too extreme. So yeah, we do have outposts being set up as well. Yeah, you can tell Louis is just trying to milk it for all it's worth. He wants the Archon online before he even touches wood. And then we'll look to move as many people over to the north side as possible. Yeah, like, he's gathering the straggle trees, but it's like when you go outpost, you go extra mining camp, like, it adds up, right? Times it perfectly as he shuffles across. That should be Prelate on the way. So full eco about to be buffed. Kind of like this outpost on its own, right? He even gathered enough stone to guarantee the arrow slits in placements. Can be really annoying for B, considering, you know, you want to be able to do damage to these knights. I mean, this second TC is going to have to be really condensed. I imagine you drop it on the other side of the gold vein. It's the only thing that would make sense to me here. Because then, like, you kind of don't need another outpost, right? You just have the TC to protect there. Instead, he goes even tighter. Villagers actually having to build it behind the primary. Wait, why did... Okay, I think Louis got efficiency brain here. He chose to build the TC 1 tile away from the Archon for farm placement. But he's like half a tile away from the berry bush. One of those things. So this has to be, I don't want to say rushed farms because he has got plenty of sheep to work with, but like 17 sheep don't last long on 2TC Archon. They get munched down fast. So we're not going to get a rush in the wood because he needs to get some things up. Would love to see just a temporary wall here to stop a raid point. Even another temporary wall across to like the berries would be great. And then you can just focus on getting a few Rax units down. Louis just keep an eye on things as well. We'll see the pro scouts play, so knows what his opponent's up to. And this is the range form we talked about, right? To deny the fast castle play. So you will have to play the Age. So we'll give a little bit of punishment. At this stage, really, you're better off just targeting Knight, always. There's no point going after Jeanne unless you know you can kill her with static placements, because she heals, right? Whereas these guys aren't going to get Chivalry for probably like another 3 or 4 minutes, at least. This is wild from Louis, though. Like, he's legit just doing a full farm transition. Against Jeanne, this early in the game. Ain't nobody quite do it like Louis. This is very unorthodox, I'd say, in this matchup. This is why I was so flabbergasted by this 2TC choice, especially on this map, and whoopsie, efficiency brain again. Because, like, in this situation, like, you know, where's your second TC going that feels valuable? Right? It's not like you've got a natural extension deer nearby. It was really far in the center. He can play for that. So I was a little bit shocked by this. I thought maybe it'd be 2TC into Fast Castle. Instead, we've just got kind of a little bit of a wacky build. Jeanne is going to find a little bit of poke damage here. Arrow fire from the TC is going to add up fast, though. B, well, trying to get cute with his A clicking there. But the scout almost going down. We better give chase. They need to be careful because the spearmen can move quicker when they charge. From here is actually Louis needs to consider getting even either into archers or into horsemen. You got a better economy, you should be able to afford it. Just 4 or 5 horsemen is great. You can just snipe Jeanne straight away. So that's going to feed a little bit of XP over. All right, one's if you think B's going to win this. Two's if you think Louis is going to take it. Because you can kind of see the strategies now, right? Like, Louis is just trying to be semi-greedy, actually, right? Like, he's honkering down, he's holding onto a lot of food, adding in farms early. Sheep count is already down to 10. A lot of people favoring B. Oh, wait, no, sorry, I didn't look high enough. I can't count. A lot of people favoring Louis. I mean, in fairness, if Louis just blobs Infinite Spearman, you'll laugh at how quickly Jeanne dies. I'm not even capping on this one. But that takes a lot. And right now, he's not at that point where he just has crap tons of resources to punt at it. I also still think that Louis really should have walled this while he had a chance. Because now you have to move across this other area, right? Dude, he's going fast Castle Burgrave, isn't he? This 100% reeks of Burgrave setup. He's rushed under the gold now. He's set up a decent number of farms. I mean, does he have the food for Burgrave? If he had extra farms, extra wood, sure. Like, if you go Rignacs, you don't really have much to get out on the map with, is the problem. I prefer the idea of just flooding spears. It's dangerous because, obviously, like, a lot of you can die in the big fight. You don't get a lot of XP. You should be able to eviscerate them. Not like this, though. Man, what? Louis even pulls the Prelate out to give a little bit of heal over in the fight. I am struggling to be convinced by Louis' strategy here. But he has a window. And although that window is closing quickly, and it's kind of like one of those shutter doors in a movie that chop you in two, if he can hop through quick enough, he gets to keep his legs, his arms, his testicles, his head. Nothing has to be chopped off. But we are reaching the point of a dive. B is up to 10 knights in total. No here yet. Soon to arrive. Louis needs to stop losing spears. If he's going to survive this, he needs to stop throwing spears away carelessly. Every spear that dies makes this defense that's coming tragically harder. Now, he could technically actually have jumped Jeanne there and surrounded her. The reason he didn't is because the knights would have pounced. And wow, okay, we actually do have Rignacs. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. I think you want a Burgrave play here. You just don't have the food. If he had farm set up like he intended here, like, I actually understand the Rignacs. I don't like the Rignacs, but I at least understand it, right? You know, like, I don't like the fact that Crackly only plays Shuji, but I at least understand it in the meta right now. It's just, there's no food for Burgrave. Remember, he's spending 300 food a minute on villages alone. And you have, like, maybe 800 food income that you can cap out on. That ain't going to get you squat. But what this Regnos is going to get you instead is Dove. At least it should. B is stockpiling as well, so maybe he just thinks about aging. Yeah, he's actually switching archers now. He must know what's happening here. Like, you can see the gold gathering is just through the roof, right? Tech up comes in. That is 5 villagers waiting to be butchered. He repairs. He's going to slow that down at least. Love the min-maxing. B just intentionally staying in range of Jeanne so she can tank. Instead, though, he's going to back away. I think B's going to go age 3. Really? You're going to let Louis get a chance at resources here? And yes, Jeanne gets bonus damage against spears. Can you guess how much bonus damage she gets against spears? 50! No, it's 8. Had you going for a moment there, though, right? I mean, technically, if you shoot Divine Arrow. I can't believe Louis got a relic for free like that. That is crazy to me. I think B, if he doesn't dive, he's going to lose this game. This is way too passive, and I think he knows it. E-Repairs is still in cooldown. He has got enough torch damage to get through it in time. Oh, man, he's waited too long. Veteran sees in. You have to go you have to go age now. You can't play this anymore. I can't believe this from B. It looked like he had this in his clutches, right? Like, just keep poking, keep shoving into your opponent from multiple angles. Look for the dive on the tech up, punish, right? And then if you don't think you can get in any more age, I guess, but instead, he continues to mass now into archers. Louis has gathered a little bit more wood. He has walled over here, so you can access the west side. He's got gold trickle now coming in with a second relic on the way home. He could realistically get into, say, a mango play here. I just don't think the archers are going to be substantial enough at this pace. Like, you're 16 villages behind, and those villages are Archon buffed, right? Like, about 40 of his 61 villages are Archon buffed. Just do the maths on that in your head quickly and realize just drastically how far behind B is. Like, with this many knights, there is a playoff of Royal Institute. Another outpost coming up from Louis as well. Looks like the prelate did get found returning that relic. There is a sneak out for the north side, no? Yeah, he got blocked there when he tried. He repairs, just delaying this again. This is so obnoxious. How does that many units torching not burn it? Man, this is the power of being HRE against feudal limbs, right? Like, that torch damage would have been buffed by an extra 4 per unit. This is getting difficult to really cheer for being at this stage, man. He just keeps going, just one more night, just one more, right? He's like each of you on the weekend when you know you've got to be up early on Monday, but you don't want to miss any of you don't want to miss out on playing another game, or maybe finally getting conked. You're like, just one more game, right? That's Beaver's nights. Just one more, just one tiny more. He's like me when I talk about sub. Just one more, guys. Just one more sub. Come on, we're almost there. Just one more click on that Ryzen ad. Just one more. But B has finally woken up to the real life and went, no! I gotta be up early. I got milk in the cupboard. I got my breakfast ready to go. It's time to be realistic about this and put someone to slumber permanently. Royal Institute on the way. 28 knights to level up with. Louis, however, now has knights as well. Oh boy. This is going to be a problem. B is at a stage where I think even the deer ran out. He can't just stay home anymore. His gold is also running out. He's tapping 2 gold veins at once. Not even Dracula would try to tap this many veins at once. Dangerous game. About to get more dangerous. Heavy maces now on the way. We've got a transition. Louis moving into men-at-arms. Walls also going up. I mean, this is a tough thing. I love how there's still a sheep here. This is the sucky thing about playing against Louis. It's like, in this situation, be like, okay, like, I'm surviving long. I feel like maybe I should be dead when he's got this type of eco lead. I'm going to die in like 2 minutes. No, Louis is the type of person who will now hunker down and play for like 10 minutes from now. Happily. Happily. Now, that can be a boon for B. Jeanne is a very good civ to play into the late game. If you can get level 4. That's the big if. Chinese Dracula. That would explain why he's up all night. Oh my god, we figured it out. Louis is a vampire. So the prelate will be able to pick up the relic just to lose it. Get sniped on both sides of the map here. Knights are trying to shuffle in. They can find their way towards the villages instead. Meanwhile, like, yeah, you've just made it harder for yourself to get this relic, Louis. Oh, man. So far, B is doing a really good job of blocking all the raid attempts. Louis is going for the I'm not coming out strategy. He's only got 2 relics in 5k gold. I mean, you can kind of make that work, but he's massing knights. You still got to get Imperial Age at some stage. It does feel a little bit odd. You can't play crossbows either against Arbitrary, right? Like, B's already realized that. Like, honestly, I think about 4 minutes ago, this game looked tragically over for B. But now that he finally went, yes, I need to tech up, he didn't try to go for a feudal limb, which is important. His position actually isn't tragic. Yes, being 30 villagers behind HRE is insane. But that HRE player is sitting in a corner on a map that I'd say doesn't really support corner camping that much. You get the back gold spawns often, but you don't get much wood is the issue. Which is why you're seeing Louis negotiate in a very weird fashion. I need more wood. Let me use wood to get the wood. We've got royal bloodlines coming in. This is ridiculous, actually. I just want you guys to think about the maths implication here. It's like right now, so before royal bloodlines, at 25 knights, the health value of his entire army is just shy of 6,000, right? By getting royal bloodlines, the health value of your army goes up to, I think it's like 8,600? 8,700. It's an absolute insane amount of extra HP to use in fight. Not just that, the damage increase on the way. Crossbow stirrups, man. B, he's starting to convince me. He does need to do some damage. He can't just let Louis keep sitting in the corner like this. He can't let Louis keep negotiating territory like this. This is ridiculous. But, let me just edge out a little bit more. If this continues, the end of the map screen is going to look absolutely stupid. It's just going to be little bumps after bumps after bumps. And it does indeed look like it's going to be... Wait, where's the... Okay, I was about to say, there's a little bit delayed on the UI. It's going to be a 3 relic split, favoring B. Now, Regnants is still better, but this is actually a big deal, taking that much away. Louis just kind of feels like he's maybe a bit too greedy. He does at least have the farms, though, and we're up to an insane count at this stage. 39 farms. Still enough wiggle room to add in probably about like another 8 in range of the Archon. Maybe like 5. And HRE still have plenty of gold. Remember, he's only been building men-at-arms. It's cheap. It doesn't use much. My problem is, like, why are you building men-at-arms into Arbitrier? What he actually needs to do is prep a horseman transition. I don't know if he realizes it's Arbitrier. I actually think Louis is going to get caught off guard by the Arbor switch. He was probably expecting Knights Archers, which men-at-arms feels perfect for, right? Keep drop coming, though, and oh my god, are you kidding me? B. He doesn't suspect it. There is no indication in his mind that Louis is trying to claim more gold. This is the lifeblood. This is Bram Stoker's revival of Dracula in his series. This keep is everything Louis needs. And B needs to stop it right now. Charges into mass spears. Mass men at arms, though. Castle's definitely going to be going up. Louis can afford to lose a few villages along the way. Even Garrisons decide to assist. But the bloodlines are just too good. Louis MT, unable to stand his ground here, has to back up. Torch is out. He can look to clear this now. Wouldn't feel clean, though. Instead, he realizes, actually, I may need to switch into Siege. Jean has at least got level 3. Really, you want to be farming up to that level 4. That's still going to take a long time, though. Like, this is the other thing about Louis' army. It's not expensive, right? Men-at-arms, spears, 120 here, 80 here. That's 12 XP, 8 XP. Need 1,500 to get that level 3. And are you freaking kidding me? I wondered if he was going to do this. I thought he'd do it more aggressively to secure the 8k. We have keep into Elsbach in the center of the map, which now, with the seed switch into Trebs, is going to feel horrific for B. He's going to do no damage, right? It's a 33% damage reduc. I can't believe this. No, Elsbach is a great choice even with the Treb, right? Because even if you clear the keep, now this, you see this, I repair it with wood. It's obnoxious how good this is. And like, why else would, like, Louis has literally no use for Palace Swabia. Why would you ever build a Palace of Swabia of 110 Eca? Doesn't make sense, right? Louis is ensuring there is nowhere for B to go. This is harsh, man. You have to remember B, he went for his Sacred Site cap. He's now just getting... Wait, what? B, he doesn't even try to stop it. 1 minute arms decaps against the whole army. And now, to make matters worse, you have no scalability yourself, right? Like, yes, you have Jeanne being able to level up, but this is a Royal Institute game, which means no big pull of 2.4k food to build a Red Palace with. In a game where B, would you like to guess how many farms he has? None. He has literally 0. B has no scalability right now. And quite frankly, looks like he might already be out of time. The quality of his army is substantially better. But that gap is going to be closed quickly with elite techs now coming in. Mango's also now showing up. I wonder if there's a one in which Louis is contemplating just going for the adjustable crossbars. Good counter to Mass Arbitrary for sure. Stonewalls. He's even quick walling him now, Louis. It's like, after what you done to me in game 1. I got quick fingers too, but not quick villages, unfortunately. Spinmen are quick, however. Okay, we'll still get the walls up in the end. Yeah, like, there's no killing the villagers quick enough here. Not against Speedy Spears. Step B. Tries his hardest to stop it, but it just means he's going to be 3 knights down. Louis doesn't care, right? Like, oh man, I lost 5 villagers? Whoop-de-doo. I'm already basically capped. So, no flanks, no cheeky shenanigans. B's only path to victory is down the center. He has at least secured an 8k vein on the south side here. It's going to be important for keeping this pump going. Trip count. Only at 3. I mean, this is just ridiculous, guys. He has 4 villagers just out repairing it. And to make matters worse, yep, it's got reinforced defenses on the way to make these outposts better. I mean, hell, you could even contemplate slate and stone construction, right? That means that your opponent couldn't rush in with knights to burn it. Typical HRE player brings spears all the way to enemy base. First thing he does, "Woo, my shinies!" If B can somehow find a way to imp, there is still hope. Because the reality check is his army is substantially better, right? Like, HRE is an infantry-based civ. Elite Army Tactics rework was a nerf because it's not just an all-rounder tech now. It requires you to be attacking the right unit type. Arbitriers, however, have not been nerfed, funnily enough. Add in the fact that knights are still pretty giga stacked, and you know, you feel much better about your late game comps. Then when you add in Jeanne as well, I mean, it's just chef's kiss. But B still needs to get there, man. He's trying. He has basically reached pop here. So he's able to start stockpiling. Louis, in the meantime, is going to be getting tie buns as well. Just a little bit extra eco to work with. Remember, he went free TC. He actually set up a TC next to this for the E-repairs because he got sick and tired of wasting stone. And Arms did try to sneak in. Looks like B was quick in the reaction, though. Louis just trying to really distract him on the back of this. The Army Tactics, surprised it got this long to get queued up. It is now on the way. And we have extra rules coming, so we'll probably try to sneak out to this gold soon. Louis is definitely going to need more for what he's doing because he's going mass mangoes, so adjustable crossbars should be prioritized shortly. They clash at the back, Louis. There's a lot of troops, but we'll instantly be able to replace. In the meantime, the men at arms, B, he wasn't looking. They get in. Trev now being targeted, and it looks like B is still distracted. He doesn't get the repairs up again. He'll keep one trebuchet alive. We've got his mass real strat again, which against Louis' comp makes sense, but where it's not going to make sense now is if you are away for the Season 9 update, Springles make no sense against Mangoes anymore. Mangoes are no longer countered by them. Mangoes are your bread and butter of the hyper late game. The issue for Louis is going to be in gold. He needs more of it soon. Well, B did get a good cleanup, guys. He just needs to go on the counter-offensive now. If B wastes too much time on L's back, he's dead. If he goes around the sides like this, things could get real good for him fast. Adjustable crossbars is on the way. Louis doesn't have mobility, though, by going for mangoes like this. Both of them are now basically snaking just towards the same wood line. We do have burn through coming in. I mean, Louis... I don't think he should have thrown away that army on the back like he did. Yeah, he got some trebs, but, like, really? You threw away about 25 men-at-arms, 30 spears to kill 2 trebuchets? It doesn't really feel necessary. A bit of a weird state of the game from Louis. And what did he do with that space? He basically built more villages. This is becoming obnoxious, I'll give him that. The problem is, this type of treb on to keep play favors the keeper when he has an edge somewhere. So, like, he's gathering from an 8k vein next to it, or he's got a sacred site timer. Louis doesn't have either of those things right now. I'm glad he's finally fixing that, because his strategy doesn't work without more gold. Even siege works as well. You can see what kind of picture he's trying to paint here, but... What? Is that a real landmark? Season 10 landmark leaked? Hold on a second. College of Artillery is coming. Okay, you have my attention. I mean, Robotiquins are pretty good here against HRE, right? Like, this is a I mean, you guys are saying in chat, you see it, right? It's all about getting the Reggies going. However, like, Reggies into mass mangoes doesn't work. What is going to be cool is the extra damage you have on your rural cannons and culverins against mangoes. That's actually not a bad idea. Right? Like, you know, you need a sniper unit against these things, and now you're going to have it. He even immediately consecrates to make it cheaper. Yeah, I think, like, which one's more effective here? Isn't it Robotiquins? No, yeah, because they don't need setup time. I think you go Robotiquins against, oh, sorry, not Culverins, rather, against mangoes. Yeah, it's really confusing because they changed Culverins now to be a different type of cannon, but there's a difference, right? Like, cannons have setup time, but more damage. Culvs move and shoot quicker. Mango's going for a wallop, but nice snipe there, gets rid of one. Now, the one issue with Louis' strategy here isn't that he throws away mangoes like that, it's that even if you don't throw them away, Jeanne can take them away. She's a sniper, remember. So, like, you know, if Louis wants this strategy to work, he needs to go up to about 8 mangoes fast. These squirrels in the meantime are milking him. Guys, I think Louis is losing this game. Eco lead is shrunk. He only has 2 mangoes. More have been queued up, and the elite tech just came in for the knights. Jeanne may be level 3 for now, but not for much longer. The reason she's level 3 is they just haven't really been fighting, right? It's been protracted siege. Protracted? Retracted siege. A poke on the flanks, but nothing too substantial here. A lot of techs are on the way, and we do have the Boom Shakalaka cannons. Remember, he's going to have those powerful artillery shots. It allows you to snipe from very far away. It basically gives you that final punt if you need it to kill keeps. We are at 4 trebs again, man. This is expensive. Louis right now, 14 villages repairing. Then think about the stone cost of gathering with villages as well, right? This is a horrible position for Louis. In fact, I'm pretty sure currently he's buying stone from the marketplace. Just to keep this keep alive. Mango smush shots coming in. It's just tough with the cannon now. Unless you can instantly snipe the cannon, you're going to start losing siege yourself. Beach trying to micro away from the problem. We do have monks on the front line. They tank the adjustable crossbars. Well played. Looks like there's going to be a snipe on the siege, though. Be a little bit careless. Too focused on the west side of the fight. There's a wraparound coming with the knights. They're going to move in and force out of time off the gold. Back in the main, though. Second wave has been committed. Remember, if you're going into Spearmen, that's where the Jeanne's champions are kings amongst peasants. And the knights now riding deep into the peasants' back line here, going off those mangoes. Not quite able to get it, though. One strike from Dev. Sprill should at least penetrate through, but fails to. Jeanne the Blast is in, however. And if B just starts using this ability, he could easily snipe the Mangoes, but B instead hasn't been using the Divine Blast at all. Even when they were arrows, right? That would have been the easy finish off. Louis now starting to wall the area, make it even harder now for a counterattack for B. I can't believe this, man. It looked like B was going to be in a good position, but I have questions about this execution. You know, I thought it was because he was focusing on the micro. He was too focused on those knights. He wasn't focusing enough on his arbitrary, trying to splinter them, making sure he got a concave going. The Mango's got way too much value. On top of that, he then threw away his cannon trebs on the south side. No sort of counterattack or response there. Louis just got opening after opening, and it cost him practically nothing for it. B is now like, maybe Roboticons is the way. I mean, yeah, like if you were queuing up Siege, Siege, Siege this whole time, great, but now you start queuing up Siege when you run out of gold. This is over. B has lost the game. He has no gold on a Civ that cannot function without gold. Louis can be content now. He's already got his Siege, so doesn't have to worry about the remax there off of gold. He's amassing spears, which cost no gold. And even if he needed it, he's still got 4,000. Oh my god. This has to be getting demoralizing for B. I wouldn't be surprised if he takes a 5-minute break just to try and mentally reset, because there is such a thing as like breaking the flow, right? Like when you're the winning player, you just want to go, 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 go. When you're on a losing streak, you need that timing out. Calm down. Men at Arms just milking what's left of the economy over here. I'll have to find out if B does ask for a timeout. I mean, you know, he'll have a little bit of breathing time after the redraft. That is at least guaranteed. You know, so when we do these best of 5s, it can be over before redraft. We're in a best of 11, and we're going to be redrafting after every fourth game, right? So he will at least, in this series, see one redraft, even if he loses every game. Louis now starting to leak into the farms. I think this is where B's probably just close to calling the GG. He has nothing against the Mango Death Bush, right? Because unless you do a little bit of tickle damage, Jeanne needs some assistance there, right? Divine Arrow is 150. I mean, the weird part is that he's not even going in for the shots in the first place, which shocks me. Instead, now he's going to get headbutted by spears. Got cannons being birthed. It's 2 from Jeanne directly so far, but Mango's able to back away. Man, Louis and his walls. This guy is one of the most malicious wallers in AoE 4. When Wham gets accused of liking walls too much, do you know whose name he summons to defend his walling and say that he's not the worst? This guy. What a series. Man, what an incredible series. Also, can we just agree how incredible the series is and how it's being done justice by the quality of the stream? Big shout out to AMD, Gigabyte, Haven, Corsair, Kingston, and Crucial for making that possible, by the way. We built this incredible $4,500 PC. I am running this at like 144 frames, recording it in full 1080, restreaming it to 3 different platforms. Oh. And what a series it is to stream. Even though it's 3-0, it has been a wild 3-0 so far. I think B is just going through the motions now. Like, if I was B, I'd be taking this to think about what I want to do next, like extra time. You know, it's like a little cheat method. No, like wait, like, you know when you like have a cheat day when you're on a diet, where you're like, oh, I can eat sugar today. It's kind of like that little trick of like, let me take this extra time while Louis has to finish me off to think, what do I do now? Let's look at the maps, because remember, this is a best of 11. Potentially every map can be played. We're only 3 maps in so far. So you got to be thinking before the redraft, what have I got left? What is his likely picks? Because we did do a 6 pick each side, right? And you only used 4 total. He needs to get this right, because it's not just about getting a point. It's the momentum break. You need that against someone who's 3-0 up. Because otherwise, it isn't just the confidence they play with, it's what they can do with the draft in the opening 5th game, right? And I know I'm speaking as if like, oh, why, KP, why are you speaking like we're redrafting already? We're in like the 3rd game. But it's all, that 4th game is going to decide like how the draft begins next time, right? I've seen it so many times where someone punts out a stupid pick to ruin your draft. Like, you know, you go, oh man, I've got this perfect order, Delhi English here, and then, yeah, we'll do like French here. And then all of a sudden they just punt out Order the Dragon. You're like, what? It's like, what? Look at that from Robco Piera. Thank you very much for the sub, mate. Welcome back to Swarm. Reminder, by the way, guys, if you do like these streams, if you do like these tournaments, be sure to subscribe to the channel each month. Helps me out tremendously. Means you don't have to worry about ads. Bare minimum, make sure you're following, turning up. Bring a friend along as well. Let's keep growing this beautiful scene. And let's keep going with this beautiful series. 3-0 for Louis MT. This man looked like a bull in the group stage, and he is looking to roll over anyone he comes across, as we're seeing the poor face of B underneath that Louis truck. Will it continue? Let's find out. Because in a moment, we're going to have game number 4. It's finally happening. Ottomans is getting picked in competitive, and all we had to do is run a best of 11. Now, in fairness, it's in game 4 this is happening. It's kind of wild, actually. Louis MT did still have, I believe it was Mongols and French, but I think he's a little bit paranoid about the Ayyubid pick from B, which is why he went Ottomans. Because Ottomans actually, like, I think they can do okay-ish against Ayyu. The opening Sipahi play can be really pressure-oriented, but this has kind of maybe ended up better for him. The Malians usually struggled against Ottomans because these outpost rush plays. Wonder if that's what we're going to get in this game, because Louis has, instead of going for aggressive outpost rushing with racks opening, gone just for the military school. But yeah, Ottomans, definitely the least seen Civ in the tournament, I want to say. We've seen more Order of the Dragon, actually, than Ottomans. In fact, shout out to Hussein, who, if you guys haven't seen his Reddit thread, he done this wonderful thread breaking down all the statistics. Looking on pick rates, it is the least picked Civ. Ottomans across 7 weeks of our weeklies has been picked 13 times. Order of the Dragon got picked 17 times. Both of them are absolutely terrible. Order of the Dragon has a 17% win rate. Can you guess what Ottomans' win rate is? Come on, get your numbers in chat. Do you think it's better or worse than 17% for Order of the Dragon? Which, by the way, I think most of the Order of the Dragon victories were from Puppy Paw as well. 8%? Jesus, Ramen. Chill. Chill. We ain't doing it that dirty. It's pretty bad, though, yeah. It's 15%. It's horrible. Ottomans just feel like a very question marky Civ right now. Their late game is really sucky compared to what it used to be. And then what do they do in the early game, right? They've always felt a little bit weird in the early game ever since the nerfs around the military schools. There's just a lot to figure out with these new Vizier councils. I think the issue for Ottos right now is maybe the early game economy is a little bit weak. I almost want to say they should have a Vizier point that gives a different eco buff than the one they get from going for the sheep with the mining gathering buff. Almost want to say like you get someone that gives you a food gathering buff, but instead of giving you sheep, gives you something else. What that would be, I'm not sure. Maybe... Ooh, okay. What if you could get the increased berries effect, right? So like there was something that gave you 10% more food gathering, but gave like an extra 100 food on each of the berries as a Vizier point choice. That might be intriguing. And that also would flex the difference, because a lot of people still go Twin Minaret Madrasa. That would actually then justify maybe going for trade, alternatively. It's tough, though, right? Because like I think the one issue we have is if the early game economy of Ottomans gets buffed too much, all they're going to end up doing is building cav archers. Like, if you look at the stats of the cav archers, the new Ottoman unit, they kind of sound busted, but they're too expensive. More realistic, yeah, you guys went way too high. Like, I was shocked reading off the sheets that's 15%. I was like, really? Because all I remember is watching Voldemar lose with this Civ. Sorry, Voldemar. I think he was the only Ottoman game we were able to cast live. There might have been like one more on a water hybrid map. But we do at least have the torching pressure coming into the spears. After this, Louis can walk home and shove the deer in. I'm wondering if this could be 2TC. And I was about to say, against Malians, 2TC is their nightmare fuel. Malian players absolutely hate people that build a second town center. And Ottomans, they weren't bad with this type of build, right? Like, the idea is if you're going 2TC, usually you feel like you want to stay in feudal longer. You're going to have to anyway. I think Ottomans is a civ that can benefit from that on multiple levels. They have decent units like Sipahi, but then also on top of that, you unlock more and more Vizier points. So it's actually like not as tragic as you'd think for Ottomans to not rush fast castle anymore. I do think, by the way, when Louis does eventually go castle age, you need to click on... Wait, why is it showing his age 2? Oh, sorry, he's not completed yet. You need to click on this landmark here. You ready? This one right here. Click the... This thing is underrated. This is sleeper pick. I'm telling you guys right now, Istanbul Imperial Palace in 2025 will become meta. I think Mehmed Imperial Armory has like had its time. The value really isn't there now. At any stage in the game, really, right? Like, it used to be the opening Mango was broken. Mango's at the beginning of Castle isn't that great anymore. And then later in the game, like Great Bombards, they haven't really been looking like themselves of recent. B. I should have known. This is pretty cursed if his timing was a little bit quicker. He is going Pro Scouts, but I'm not sure of the timing here. The reason is that, like, look at how long it's going to take. It's 50 seconds out. Louis about ready to start building that TC in, what, about 20, 30 seconds max? Then again, it is a long walk without wheelbarrow, so realistically, B could snatch away 4 deer from this one right here. But yeah, just to remind people, by the way, if he does go into some Imperial Palace, what that thing does is it gives you extra Vizier points and generates Vizier points quicker. It is very, very good. Especially when you consider how many extra choices you now have with those Vizier points. Getting extra points is invaluable. All right, I'm just gonna probe this directly. That's not at Fenrisian specifically, but is it really hard to read the best of count in the corner? I'm kind of curious from like people watching this casually. Do I need to make that bigger? Because I think I've had like several people now ask if this is a best of 5. But yeah, also, can we just, if it was a best of 5, this would already be over. I mean, in some ways, it's been feeling already over. B needs to do something to inspire confidence. His Malians can be pretty bonkers, though, right? Like, remember, last time B and Louis met, B, on the Malians at least, we had Louis on the Juji in that game. And B, it took him an hour and quite a bit, but he did win it in the end. So maybe this is the Civ that inspires some hope. Put it near score? There's literally no way to put it near score. What? Sir, have you done UI design before? Where would, like... Do I need to go on a like explanation course about cluttering? We're already pushing it with that kick-ass logo. All right, so Louis is just going to settle for securing the deer casually. He actually went for a TC very condensed, so... I don't think this is just fast castle, right? I think you have to actively add in some military. In fact, we've got Sipahi coming already. And what is up, 20 years? Thank you very much for the prime sub, mate. Remember, folks, get those subs in. Because this is the perfect time to do so. We've still got at least 3 more games in this grand finals. And then, on the 3rd of January, we start up the weeklies again, 4 times a week. B's villager military count? What, you mean put it literally here where the siege thing goes? Louis is doing a good job of actually keeping these archers at bay, which is important for this gathering. Especially if you want to just start massing more Sipahi, they're not cheap to do. But we do now have Donzos coming in, which means Louis is either going to need to go tag or transition. Now we are getting more spears. I wonder why he's not really going archers. Archers is a bit tricky for B now, right? Because, like, if your opponents go Sipahi, you don't really want to be adding javelins. And remember, these Warrior Scouts, they don't have bonus damage against range, so your only counter really is javs. Or sofas, which is just really expensive, despite the fact he's done it. I don't feel like sofas are going to trade very well into Sipahi, though. Like, sure, you've got the melee armor, but same health, damage difference, not too extreme. But typically, you're going to see more Sipahi than sofa. Cow, why are you griefing my grand finals? That's it. You're now gone from being paid nothing to being paid negative. All right, I'll invoice you $50 at the end of this. We have a push coming. Louis, what has he done with the Vizier points? He definitely got his hands on the sheep. I mean, if you're playing in on feudal, you really want to be considering going for the meta point. Problem is, he hasn't really been pumping enough spears to justify that yet. B. It's like he's going to have to defend at home. It feels like this is a fake out, though. Louis, you can see he's already saving up. And B, by being baited by this, by investing, he's staying away from his real win condition, which is getting the farms online, right? Like, remember, at the end of the day, this is a 2 TC Ottoman build, folks, which means that B really needs to get a move on into age 3. Now, what's crazy, though, is I can tell you guys from experience of watching B, he's not going to be going age 3 the way you think he is. This man's going to do one thing and one thing only. If it goes age 3, he wants a Farimba. He always wants a Farimba. He's like that kid who has chocolate ice cream and likes it way too much. You take him to the gelato place. 50 different flavors. Which one do you want today, darling? Chocolate. Oh, for God's sake. What about maybe we try some pistachio or some caramel? Chocolate. His Farimba is his chocolate. Freeborn is the way. But now, a tech up is the way, and Louis, oh, it's that thing I hate. Mehmed Imperial Armory is on the way. KP uses the powerful AMD CPUs, because I like peak performance. Exclamation mark AMD. Check it out. We're doing an awareness campaign. Click the link. We've got Archer Rangers come behind us. I mean, there's no way he's Jannying, right? It just has to be crossbows. Like, you'd think Janissaries, but remember, like, archers get the bonus damage against you. So you just kill yourself very fast. Weirdly enough, though, he's actually adding in Janissaries. What? Okay, so we've had, like, I think, at least 2 games where we've seen Louis build and gone, huh? But then he wins. So at this stage, I'm just going to kick back in my chair and not bother. I don't want to talk about the potential flaws of, like, going Janissaries here. I mean, it could be a bait and switch. He's literally built 1 so far, but I think that's more a lack of resources. Credit to him, though. So far, not losing a single villager. Love the micro as well. Louis just kind of shrinking whatever he can. I mean, this hurts. Speed losing Sofa at this stage, they're just so underwhelming. We talked about this, right? It's never a unit you want to have to mass in Feudal Age. I actually do rate 4 or 5 Sofa max in Feudal pretty highly. I think there's some great rating potential, some good counterplay. But when you start blobbing them, you need them to just survive until you're age 3. And oh my B, what is going on? It's like looking at the London Underground trains right now. This is like looking at like one of those Japanese trains where the conductors come by and just jam everyone in. It's like, wait, I think there's room for a mouse in there. Fit 3 more people! All right, the 6 cow overflow is about to find a new home. This is like watching Cow's mom give birth to 7 triplets. I don't know what the number is for that. But they found homes now. This is definitely for him, though. You can tell. He always just goes for it. The problem is, like this has to be Mansa, right? Louis is kind of playing into getting countered at this rate. Mansa Musafadi will annihilate this. That's not animal friendly? No, but it is delicious. You know, like when you take a burger and smush it together with another burger, and it's like double the taste? Same thing here. Same logic as why condensed milk is so much more tasty than normal milk. Come on, guys. The more you squeeze it, the tastier it is. I feel like that could be clipped out of context. B, about to trigger that tech up. We do have... Wait, he's doing javelins. He's actually doing javelins. Wait, what? Wait, but... I mean, technically, like, you can kill men-at-arms over time. But it's also just like, why not just build Mansa Musafadi? I'm hoping this is just he's building a few jabs because range units. I talked about this on a previous series that, like, with Farimba, I think you're going to see majority games be freeborn. Secondary priority is going to be Mansa Musafadi, and Jabs is going to be the least built. Jabs absolutely destroyed Jannies. Yeah, but you've got archers, right? Like, the archers are already going to be pretty damn good. Condensed milk? No, that's not a British thing. Because there's, like, a cake called Tres Leches that is, I'm pretty sure, a Spanish thing. And that's literally, like, mostly condensed milk. I don't know if it has another name. I know it as condensed milk. I say as I wear my chef hat and go, oh. All right, there we go. Correct choice made. We've got Mansa Musafadi. It just makes sense, right? Like, Louis is just bulking men-at-arms. This is what I was worried about that I said he needed to be careful being countered. We do have mangoes gradually being added in. I mean, by some miracle, Louis, despite the fact he'd been stuck in his base, has somehow got a relic home. I don't even know how that happened, really. In fact, I gotta sneak a second. Yeah, he's on his way now. Are you kidding me? Louis is just always good at randomly finding his way out onto these relics in weird situations. Like, if you look at the map control state, he has no justifiable reason to be able to get any relics. And yet right now, B is so late to the party, he might end up having the minority of relics. So for our wrap around the back, we do have some spears and Jannies nearby. What's the win condition for Louis now? Well, he's probably just scouted that it's not for, like it is for Imba, in case he didn't know already. We do have the Musafadi strat on the way, but remember, without the effect of Fulani, it takes time. Louis does have a big enough eco lead that although he doesn't have better military units, he does have better economy, right? So he should be better off for that. Add in the fact he's got passive production as well. Like, it's not that bad for Louis. The scary part is he needs to get food. That's what worries me right now for Louis, is just a lack of food access. Gold as well. That's got wolves going up, but those are only now being started. I think if B just plays this wide, he has a very good chance of taking this game. He needs to try and punish Louis at this very pivotal moment where he is living beyond his means, right? This is a 2-bedroom house with 10 occupants. It's not good. Okay, you thought that ranch looked overcrowded before? Oh boy, you should see an Ottoman base with nothing to gather in 87 villages. I like that B isn't rushing too fast here, right? Like, you kind of need to keep this opening, though. This is the tricky part about Louis' read on the map. He's walling at exactly the most important point in the game, just before B has enough to commit to a fight. Not too early that he would have died running out, not having enough troops to cover. So this is kind of a tricky predicament. B does need to find a way to pressure, but he also can't go too early, because without enough Musafadi, you just die. And also, because it's been scoured, we're now seeing Louis double down on archers, the actual counter. Gaps in the walls are at least being kept open. Sofas are being annoying. We have got extra walls coming in. So just Louis' classic, let's deal with the problem by making the problem have to deal with 1250 HP. He'll at least have 2 relics come back for B. Soon should be free, so he'll at least have an edge there. But the other thing that's kind of scary is thinking about the Vizier council points, right? Like, we've got the extra military schools in. Obviously, you know, we haven't got advanced academies coming through yet. That's a possibility down the line, though. Pretty good one as well. I think in this type of game, like, you could just go for Janissaries. Like, your opponent is massing Mansa. He's not really massing archers. Massing melee into choke points against Mangoes. That's always ended well for no one. We'll have to leave. At least gets a good trade into Sapai. It just feels like he needs to find a target fast. I mean, the plus side here is like Louis just doesn't have food. So what you're seeing is Louis is kind of going to be forced to become a mech army at this rate, or build mass farms. And either one gives an opening here. Like, this is the thing. Everyone's going, oh my god, Louis got like a 30 village elite. True, but like, how effective are those villages right now? If you look at his income, do they feel effective? The problem is B, instead of finding a way to commit to a direct fight, a big engagement, he's trying to poke still. And over time, he's coming out worse for it. So we do have the poison arrows on the way now, at least. So he's getting that back line up, realizing that actually he's going to lose this fight because he has too much melee at this rate. And yes, funnily enough, Louis would actually benefit from Springles. It's not like the most memey idea here. Because remember, those Mansa Musafadi, they have a lot of melee armor. They have not much ranged. We do have stealth activated, so a move coming in from B here. Now, guys, this is going to hit really well onto the deer. Oh, no, they're not even there. Yeah, there's one deer left there. There's nothing on the north side, so this stealth play is in the wrong direction. B thought that Louis was punting in double direction, which makes sense, right? Like, players with this much economy would usually, but instead, Louis took the gambit of sticking everything on the east side, and it's paying off. Yeah, this is rough. Not just that, B, I mean, it's already ran out, right? So the sneak in isn't going to even work to reach the TC, let alone get into the main. Even if you could, you know, it's not really that much here. 26 villages, most of it is to the south side now. Gathering in safer areas. Well, I'm hoping B can kind of find his mojo, find his flow. Because this does not look good. I feel like the longer he waits, the more likely he is to lose. It's weird with Farimba. Farimba can have an initial opening, then it weakens, and then in the hyper late game, when you've sorted your economy fully, it actually feels better than Fulani. But we're not in the hyper late game. We're nowhere near this 200 max pop, 40 traders situation for B. It's got a long way to go for that. Louis is likely to be there much sooner. Nice stealth and reinitiation there will at least take out a few archers. Yeah, you've seen the reaction. Louis is like, I really need to see what's coming here. Trying to just wall himself in. I just gotta say, Louis' approach just feels toxic sometimes to watch. It makes you want to do a prairie-only tournament, you know? Make him really work for the walls. All right, ones if you think Louis is going to win this, twos if you think B is going to win it. Wow, that is almost exclusively ones. Like that? Bloody hell. That is more number ones than I'll find in a Beetle Artist's track accolades. Like, that is ridiculous. It's bad. I thought maybe a few more people would believe in the power of B, though. Oh, that's true. B has began Springles. Like, this is the thing. Joke's on you guys. Can't believe you're all noobs like this. B started to build the Springles. There is only victory coming his way. He's gonna build 10 and kill the 15-minute arms. Okay, no, I can't. It's looking pretty rough, especially the way that Louis does this. The more he just keeps walling, it creates more and more compartments. That means that Mangoes are harder to flank, that Mangoes can force more choke points. It's bad. Now we're fighting out into a more open area, there's potential there. In fact, B, this would be the perfect time for you to stealth and run around the back, but instead, he hits the front line. And Louis, more than willing to take the engagement. Sabai will wrap around and find the siege. That gets mopped up for free. And B, this is just not a fight you can win, man. Oh, that's so unfortunate. The issue for B is he can't just leave his archers unguarded, but really needed the Mansa Musafadi to just stealth and go in. If he got on top of the Mango, it's maybe a different state of play there. Initial wall just doing a lot of damage. But the bigger issue really is the Janissaries. These archers weren't trading out against the right unit. They were attacking the men-at-arms. Janissaries that should be countered by these archers absolutely are not being. B. That timer is at least still ticking, but not for long. It's being decapped. At this stage, I think he just needs to step up from the keyboard, take a minute or two, deep breath, while we prep for a redraft after this game. Really just shake this flow, because the good news is like that little break, that can give you the metal reset, and that could also disrupt the flow we're talking about for Louis. Because right now, he's just on a kill frenzy. We do have a counterattack coming in. He will at least shove Louis back this time. But there is still this creeping issue of Louis being likely to go Imperial at this rate, right? Like, you know, he's up to 112 eco. He's got to keep dropping in the center. You can't get Sacred Sites anymore. The Stonewalls are coming in. And also keep in mind, if this game does go into the hyper late game and both sides start trading, Ottoman trades are very good as well with the trade backs. And yeah, it's kind of weird because like watching the chat and their response, like I just saw someone mention about Janissaries, right? So Ragnar has this whole thing about hard to kill siege when the Janissaries nearby. It's true, right? Because Horseman is your easiest counter, and Horseman died Janissary. The interesting part is like, while Janissaries are feeling good right now, if these did go Imperial Age, that's where you wish you had Musafadi gunners. The problem is, how do you get Imperial Age in this game? Right? That's the conundrum. Another crazy part is like Mansef Musafadi are usually quite good against Horsemen because they're so tanky with the melee armor. But Sipahi are a better horseman, so the stats actually mirror the change, right? Like instead of being at 12 damage, you're at 15, right? So you almost offset all of the Mansef Musafadi's extra armor by being a Sipahi instead of a horseman. It's kind of crazy how important that dynamic is. Because the other problem now is like B, he doesn't even have the added benefit of just winning against horsemen. He's stuck in a stalemate and dies to Janissary. And because he went for the Mansef Musafadi, until he goes age 4, you don't have another choice. I don't know. I do wonder, really, if he should have just went Freeborn, right? Like, there wasn't much to justify Freeborn at the time. Your opponent's building Sipahi. But they're very tanky anyway. Your opponent was always going to try to get Janissary. You could argue that the men-at-arms could have been answered by Sofa, right? Because remember, Freeborn, they have 170 health. They have great armor. They have, a 5 ranged base, which means you're offsetting a third of the damage by default. And you can add more armor, while Janissary's damage doesn't get increased, right? Not until age 4. They're still just trying to find some sort of raid. This is just ridiculous. I've seen less walls in a free build game of Stronghold. Mango's just going to probably mop up most of this as well. And most of the army has been reduced, right? Meanwhile, we've also got Sipahi being mirrored by Sofa, so we'll at least be able to... No, he didn't block the raid! Oh boy. And he has activated the Fortitude to kill him even faster. Looks like that was a loss in the fight here. Second wave came in. Sabis could get mopped up there as well. This does not look like a Zergy faction right now. 59 military to 44. Man, Louis is just so annoying at this point in the game. Like I praised him earlier in the series. If you guys haven't seen those games, definitely watch them back. He's so good at mid-late game raiding. He's everywhere, right? Raid left, raid right. Once this pushes back, you'll see him raiding about 2 to 3 different locations at once. It's just so much for B to have to address at once. And he doesn't really have the firepower to do so, right? Especially considering so much of your firepower is in Sofas, which are counted. Like, you don't want to have to build mass archers because there's Sipahi, right? But anything else dies to Janissaries. And now, the fabled Imperial Age. The good news for B, not as OP as it was a year ago. The bad news for B, Louis OP in the late game. Yeah, this is him reaching his vibe zone, where he always feels most comfortable. Stonewall after Stonewall as well. He's gradually just stripping all options away from B. And what that means for Louis is that he can get more disgusting moves raiding because he doesn't have to hold anything back. Istanbul Observatory now coming as well. I don't know, do they have Shrek in China? I feel like if they do, that's Louis' most watched show as a kid. You know, because they have layers. This man always has so many layers on. You can tell it's winter right now. Just an inner sanctum at the corner just to protect the farms. Then he's got his middle sanctum and his outer. Oh. I'm trying to think of all the maps we're potentially going to dodge at this rate. It makes me a bit sad. No atoll? Come on. Nagari, maybe? What? Some pigeons view. And B, what on earth? Well, he's trying to remove flank angles from Masapahi, which makes sense at this stage. Because the Sapahi, when they get elited up, they're going to hit so hard the Sofas aren't going to hold well. Janissaries are also getting buffed up. We talked about the extra damage, right? Janissary guns now in the way. Biology has also been queued up. Louis is just getting everything in, and we even now have great bombards casually, passively over time getting added in. Yeah, not worth killing the ranchers here. That's only 90 food a minute. Much easier to kill the workers at the back, which is where he's now heading. Can activate the fortitude as well. And there we go, gets online. Start stabbing. The man Smith Vardiagan is going to be quick to react, but not quick enough to stop them from getting away. Oh, come on. Louis says, screw it, just kill them. Look at the damage now. This is what I talked about you don't really care about Sofas anymore. They hit for 22, you hit for 20. They cost more. And sure, they have more melee armor. Sure, they'll beat you one-on-one, but it's never a one-on-one fight. And soon, you'll probably lose a one-on-ones because the biology is coming into 30. Now, credit to B, he has found the resources. Grew Up Bar is now on the way. What I'm not seeing from B really is anything but survival tactics. Right? He needs to do something that convinces you he can win this game still. He has a bigger army. He did just get his upgrade, which means he can now get a second Mansa unit. Right? And it is going to be the Freeborn. Correct choice. So this is your perfect answer to the Janissary mass now. Freeborns are unusually tanky and also do a lot of damage into range units. So Louis really needs to play with a little bit of urgency here. He's got all his upgrades in. He gets them drastically faster than B. He needs to now use that before B catches up. Louis is trying to pressure as well. You can see him marching forward from multiple angles. These Sapahi just everywhere, anywhere, all at once. Looks like he's trying to ensure that he has trade options here, folks. We have got marketplaces in the corner. The Ottoman trade empire begins. Spine in the corner, they've been mopped up, but you can see it. B is struggling to really leverage this 2TC situation. The Janissaries are blasting their way through anything now. 25 damage every 1.3 seconds. Freeborn, like I said, will be very tanky. I worry about how they're going to contest against the Sapahi, though, because like we're not elite army tactics territory yet. That's still some way off. It's Freeborn. That's what I'm talking about. Look at that. 7 ranged armor already, 175 health. And he needs to upgrade them, but once they're upgraded, I believe it's 205 health. And their base damage, if I remember correctly, goes up to, I believe, 12. Funnily enough, he prioritizes the Musafadi instead. Final Sacred Site hasn't been locked in for Louis, so he doesn't actually have a clear win condition yet. And I don't think we have adjustable crossbars, no. Ottomans just love their great bombards too much. Well, the reason he's overcommitting to chasing Sapahi is just look at the stats. Like, the Sapahi actually have to be respected like they're knights, basically. They're hitting for 21 damage, and if you don't address them, they attack quicker. That's when it becomes a real problem. There's like 2 horsemen in 1. In the late game, Sapahi are some of the most pop-efficient units you can get. This game is really slowed down. I feel like there's been attempts at aggression by B, followed up by hesitation, right? And Louis is exploiting that hesitation very well. to get to the stage of the game that he likes most. This would be a hell of a way for B to reclaim some morale, though. Not just to get a win on the board, but to do so in the late game where Louis loves to be. Let's see if he can do it. Louis is admittedly in a bit of a gold awkward situation here, right? Doesn't have any traders out just yet, but also doesn't have much gold left. In fact, that is the last vein now tapped. Of course, Malians, by comparison, have infinite gold to work with. Flash comes in. Mango shot is good there. Start step retreat away, but you see how quickly the Janissaries are melting. Silverline dying equally quick, but only when they're being targeted correctly. The Freeborn are getting in the way of those shots quite often. Backstab coming through. The Archers able to mop up the siege on both sides. But B, as he found himself between a rock and a hard place here, so cut on the next wave of reinforcements coming in. The Sipahi backstab is going to be there. And a reinvigorated push now from Louis MT, as B cannot make his way through those choke points. Yeah, a weird way to fight there as well. Remember, these are B's walls here. Didn't delete them, didn't try to get around. Louis basically used his own opponent's walls against him. It's just so easy to forget, right? Like, when B's microing a fight there, he can't afford to delete key for 2 or 3 seconds. And I think those 2 or 3 seconds really would have made a bit of a difference. It's still a hard fight against Janissaries like this, but at least giving us some hope. The weird part to me, even weirder, is that we're still getting Mansa Musafadi. I mean, the Freeborn, they are more expensive, but at this point in the game, they are just substantially better. Yes, yeah, I get it. They don't have the melee armor on the Freeborn, but they have so much more health. It's 150 compared to 205. And what you need is something that can wipe the floor with the Janissaries quick, not something that gets used as a mop on the floor by these Janissaries. Louis, oh my dick. Okay, maybe he should just build Mansa Musafadi. Are you kidding me? 51 Sipahi! Louis doing his best MJ right now because he's Sipahi-ing across the map with this. This is ridiculous. It's just way too much. And behind this, the traders are online. There's 16 of them and rising. I think this is it for B. 4-0 this best of 11. Still potentially, well, definitely at least 2 games, but this is looking grim. We go into a redraft with not a single point on the board for the 3D Clan member. And Louis MT now just 2 points away from being crowned an All-Star King.